We're back. Different location for the Not a Person podcast episode. I've lost count. Slightly different location. As you can see, I've got sleeping bags and shit behind me. I've been out in the woods past couple weeks doing my thing, just getting back into the groove before I go back out there again in the fall. So it's been a busy one, but this is the setup for today, and who knows? Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, doesn't matter. Anyway, this one is a episode that, or a topic that sort of, maybe I don't know, I had an epiphany on, and I'm sure I'm not the only one who's had an epiphany on it, but it's just something that hit me. I saw just doom scrolling on social media, like Reddit and Twitter and all the other shit platforms after I got back from the woods. Just, you know, it's funny when you go out and you're disconnected from society, or from internet, not society. You don't even miss it. And then when you come back, it feels like a drug that you're, picking back up. Very strange. But anyway, started doom scrolling. I've seeing a lot of posts and rants and videos and complaints from people that are just struggling financially right now in my country and in the States. So I'm in Canada. I don't want to fully disclose, but I'm in a major city in Canada. And I know the States has the same issues, Europe, everywhere, pricing, housing, affordability issues. It's wild. I saw a post from someone, a lady. It was a video she recorded of herself, just sort of in tears. I think more so talking to herself, just clearly lost, didn't know what to do. Basically just saying she doesn't know how she's supposed to survive. She's 50. She was, I think, 57, working, making what used to be good money. I think it was, I can't remember the exact dollar amount. It was $30 an hour or something like that, which is not bad pay. And clearly for her, it wasn't bad pay up until fairly recently. And just everything getting expensive, she was just sort of going on about how she can't afford to eat and keep a roof over her head. And what's the point, and how she's struggling. And then there are tons of posts like that, right? From tons of different people being like, I don't know what to do with the cost of living and the cost of housing and the cost of this and the cost of that. But the epiphany I had was in all the replies, everyone sort of, we're all kind of blaming almost the person and all being like, oh, you just need to, or she just needs to cut back on cell phone or internet, or she's got a mortgage, so maybe she should just sell her house and rent, or all these different solutions, people trying to offer I don't know, some kind of idea for help. But I'm like, why? That's the thing, the question that popped in my head is why are we cutting back? Why do we need to scrimp and save? And why is it on us all of a sudden? So I said something about how I went out and I was gobsmacked buying groceries. So I like apples, okay? I like to eat apples. Excuse me, with my lunch, I have an apple a day. And whatever, I'm maybe a little picky with my apples, but I went out to buy apples. 10 apples cost $17. Okay. $17 for 10 apples at the store I went to. And I mentioned that At a store I went to, it was Sobeys. It wasn't like, you know, I guess considered a high-end grocery store now. I mean, it wasn't No Frills, so fuck me, right? But I didn't want to drive all the way to No Frills because gas is a fucking $1.75, right? So the grocery store that's closest to me, I went, bought some apples. I was short on apples. I was out in the woods for a couple weeks. Needed to restock for lunch to go back to work, right? Bought the apples, $17, 10 apples. Even the cashier was like, what the fuck? Of course I paid it. I'm like, I'm not personally, I'm okay, right? So, but I'm like, Jesus Christ, it's $20 for 10 apples. And apples aren't a luxury. When did apples become a luxury, right? So anyway, I posted that. Or I said something like that was insane. I used that as an example, and people were attacking me, being like, the fuck are you doing paying that much money for apples? You shouldn't have bought the apples. That's on you. Why the fuck is that on me? Right? Like, why is that my fault? Why are we all just saying, oh, that's the way it is. Apples cost $20 now for 10. It's $2 an apple now. It's $20 for 12 eggs. That's just the way it is. Can't afford it. Don't eat eggs. Like, why are we all just okay with that all of a sudden? Like, why is that the answer? Why is the answer always, when people are struggling to cut back? Oh, you can't afford rent. You used to be able to afford rent, but rent's gone up, or your paycheck hasn't gone up, or cost of living's gone up. So just, no more Netflix for you. You're not allowed to watch TV. You're not allowed to watch, no entertainment. Just go to work, come home, go to work, go home. And why are we just accepting that? And this isn't for like uneducated or unemployed. These are people that have been working, right? Their whole lives working, their education, they've done sort of everything right, working jobs that a year ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, that was good money. 5 years ago, not 50, and now they're struggling to get by. And the answer is, well, fuck you. That seems to be the answer. Like that people are telling each other, just being like, well, don't buy butter, buy margarine. Why the fuck do I have to sacrifice my lifestyle, make all these changes and reduce my lifestyle? Why? Right? We're not at war. We're not in some grand struggle. We're not in this together, sacrificing, pitching in so that, we can fight something. There's no reason for it. So why is the answer just sacrifice, just do with less, and do with less, and do with less, and do with less? Because it's never going to get better, right? Even the government's saying it's not going to get better. So everyone tells you complain. Everyone's like, well, that's on you. Fuck you for wanting to have butter. Maybe shop around, go to 18 different stores and coupon clip to find the best deals for groceries. Make grocery shopping your new job. Give up everything you like. Don't have any hobbies, don't have any interests, don't do this, don't do that. Why is that the answer? Why are we just so complacent with this shit? This isn't normal. We shouldn't be complacent. We're not at war. COVID's over. We're not fighting a plague or a pandemic. I understood kind of when COVID was happening, it was like, oh, supply chains this and COVID that, and we were all in it together, and there was that kind of mentality, and now people have sort of carried that mentality over, but it's a non-crisis. We're not in a crisis. We're not in a crisis. The rich fucks are still getting rich. I don't see fucking Galen Weston cutting back on his shit. I don't see Justin Trudeau cutting back on his shit. The politicians are out there. They're eating steak. They're living life. They're having a good time. And they're telling us to cut back, to sacrifice. Oh, it's hard for all of us. It's not hard for all of us. It's hard for us. It's hard for the working class. It's hard for the people out here working who have seen their paychecks not cover anything now. It's like, what's the point to work, right? Like, it used to be you would save some money, You buy a house, start a family, whatever. There's no road to that. You can't save money. Even if you can save money, housing is insane. Do you know what 6% interest on a $1 million house is? It can save $100,000 to get that 20% down payment on that $1 million house. That's a $900,000 mortgage at 6%. Who's carrying that? What kind of income do you need to carry that? You need to make $200,000 a year to live what used to be middle class. And no jobs are paying $200,000. Maybe I'm just out to lunch. Maybe I don't know. Maybe everybody's gotten huge raises and I got left behind. I mean, all of us got left behind. Who knows? But I feel like we're all just out here just kind of like in previous episodes I've brought it up, boiled frogs. The temperature's kind of been rising. We just haven't noticed. And we're all just looking around, being like, shit's getting worse. And then being like, well, I guess I just won't buy apples this week. Fuck that. Fuck that. That is not what we're going to do. We're not just going to fucking sit here and just take this shit. Like, these fuckers are just squeezing us for no reason. And they're squeezing us. And it's because they're scared. Because they got scared, and they know they got scared, and they've said it out loud. They said it out loud when they announced the interest rate hikes in the States and in Canada and even in Europe. Basically, we're making too much money. Back when COVID hit, there was a worker shortage. Everything, the power came back to the workers a little bit, and they got terrified. The corporations and the governments and all these big entities, absolutely terrified. And people were able to just walk away from jobs and walk into jobs and demand higher wages. And they were like, well, you're getting paid too much. So what we're going to do is we're going to start fucking you in the ass. We're going to start raising interest rates, and we're going to start making the jobs go away, and we're going to get that power back into the hands of us. Because for a brief moment, we had a bit of power, and we didn't do anything with it. You know, some people did. Some people made the best of it. But realistically, like, there was no lasting change came out of that. But that terrified them. And now they put the squeeze on us. And we're starting to feel it, and you're starting to see it more and more. You know, I can't imagine being a university grad. So I'm in my 30s. Someone in their 20s. How do you live? Like, I'm lucky. I'm in a rent-controlled building. The only reason I'm able to survive is basically I'm just hoping that my landlord doesn't fuck me. Like, I'm at the mercy of my landlord. But at this point, I'm so fucking done with it. They could raise my rent. They could raise my rent to $5,000 a month, and I would tell them to fucking kick rocks, and I'd just stop paying it. And you can try to evict me. You can fucking try, because I'm done. This is over. We can't keep playing this game. We gotta start fighting back. That they're fucking us. They're absolutely fucking us. So here's some solutions. You want solutions? We're gonna monkey wrench the fucking system. You need to get out there and you gotta start monkey wrenching. Alright? It isn't immoral. It isn't wrong. You're not stealing from anyone. You're not hurting anyone. These are faceless entities. These are collections of made up paper that are fucking us in the ass. And the government and these evil motherfuckers that think they can just ruin our lives for what? Because they want a nice, easy to control population. That's what they want. They want a population that's nice and docile. We got a little uppity. We started demanding some rights. We started asking for some more money. We started getting a little bit up there, and they didn't like that. We started taking the power back, and they got scared. So now, they're fucking us. So I don't know. I got a little ranty there, but it's kind of my epiphany is like, why are we scrimping and sacrificing and telling each other to just do with less when nothing's happened? Nothing's changed. It's like, oh, inflation. This is all manufactured. This is all made up numbers, guys. This isn't like an existential threat that we all have to pitch in to defeat. Like, why are we being pinched and pushed and so willing to accept just giving in and just being like, oh, that's inflation. Can't afford shit now. What? No. We need to demand better. We need better. Our government's not going to save us. Our government hates us. Our government actively hates us. All they see us as is cash crops for the tax revenue pool for the pool. You know, the government and the companies are this. It's this. We are just slaves in their little system. We are the annoying pawns they have to deal with and control and maintain and utilize to generate revenue, right? Like, how do people have billions of dollars? You don't earn that money. You don't create billions of dollars of wealth that is stolen from other people. That is excess labor taken from other people. There's no ethical way to get that kind of money. So we are literally just the fruit that is being squeezed to make this juice that is being fed to these rich assholes. And we get the scraps, and we're told to be happy with it. Maybe you can buy a house. Maybe you can start a family. Maybe if you don't eat apples, you can live a good life. But it ain't getting better. New cars. That's another thing. Don't even get me started on that. New cars and transport. It's they want to keep us tied up in these cities. They don't want us mobile. They want us hating each other. They want us tightly controlled in easy to manage spaces so they can just extract wealth from us. That's all we are. We're just a resource. And we're being mined. And the cover's coming off, you know? It's been like that forever. This isn't new. But it's just becoming more obvious. They don't have to hide it anymore, right? They disarmed us. So now it's just a matter of doing whatever the hell they want. They're just going to keep milking us. Right? Like, what? Where does your money go? If you're renting, like I am, to a corporation, or even if you own a house, your mortgage, where's that interest payment go, right? You work. Every hour you work, a big chunk of those hours are being given away to other people, to rich motherfuckers, either through rent or through interest, right? That's for your housing. For your food, same thing. It's the farmer. You know, how many billionaire farmers are out there? I don't see billionaire farmers, but the guy who owns the fucking grocery store is a billionaire. Like, how does that make sense? Right? The guys making the food aren't rich. The guys selling the food aren't rich. The guy who owns the grocery store is rich. How is the guy who owns the store rich? Explain that to me. He's not doing anything. He's the middleman. He's the one who takes the food from the farmer and gives it to you and takes a cut. He does nothing, right? They're just extracting every corner. They just, so your money goes to that motherfucker. Your money goes to the fucking bank. Your money goes to the corporate landlord. Your money goes to the corporate grocery store. Your money goes to the corporate clothing store. Your money goes to the taxes, to the government, so that they can have a police force to make sure that you keep following the rules and giving your money to all these rich assholes. And all these rich assholes can stay safe in their little houses and their communities. So if the government pays goons, bootlickers, to go out and just make sure that you all stay in line and you keep cooperating, right? disarm the people, and work them into dust. That's what's happening. That's what we're seeing. And I'm sick of it. I'm done. I don't know what to do. Like, I have some action points that are just straight up illegal. But what else do you do? Like, we need to just not accept this. This isn't normal. Like, we need to, like, get out of your head that idea that anytime someone is like, I'm struggling financially, it's their fault. It's not. How does someone who's been comfortable their whole life working the same job and now is struggling without having any major changes, how is it their fault? How do they deserve to struggle? How come they need to cut back on things now all of a sudden? You know, I could understand maybe if we were at war and, you know, we all need to cut back and pitch in for the war effort, you know, World War II style or World War I style, but we're not. We're not. So why are we all cutting back and pitching in and for what? For what? It's stupid. It's not right. Right? They can't stop all of us. Maybe we can get to a position where my apartment building, we all just stop paying rent. And when they try to evict us, we say no. And we resist. We fortify and we occupy. Start a rooftop garden. Start a farm out in the field. Destroy the $1 million homes across the street and turn them into farmland so we can survive. Like, that's where we're at. We gotta tear it down. We're done. Like, it's done. There's no coming back from this. I don't know. You know, just crazy. I'm probably just crazy. I'm literally crazy. I'm diagnosed crazy. But I'm just lost. Yeah. I don't know if anyone hears this resonates with you. Do you have any ideas? Just get out there, start taking some action. No one's coming to save us. You can't vote your way out of this, right? You vote for the conservatives, they're just going to sell us to the corporations more openly. You vote for the liberals, and they're just importing immigrants to keep wages down. Like, why are we bringing in 1 million plus people to keep housing prices up and fill low-wage jobs instead of just paying people more money to work those low-wage jobs? That was the solution they came up with. It wasn't, you know, Tim Hortons' job should pay you $23 an hour or $50 an hour. It was, we're going to import a bunch of people from India to serve coffee and cram them 10 to a unit in shitty apartments. And then that way, wages can stay nice and low and housing can stay nice and high. Like, that's the liberal solution. The conservative solution is sell all available land to developers and let them flip it. And who's going to buy up that property? It ain't us working class folk. We haven't been saving. We haven't been able to save. It's more rich fucks who are going to buy it and rent it out to us. Going to buy up our land and rent it back to us. Because it's our land. Right? Like, you deserve it. Take it. It's us. Like, no one owns this shit. Control the land and you own it. That's all you need to do. That's all a government is it's just a power structure that controls the land. If you can control the land, you own the land. Maybe that's too extreme. That's probably too extreme. Break out of the system. And don't blame people when they're struggling, because it's not their fault. Blame the broken ass system that has them struggling. And look to fight against it. Fight against it. Don't just accept it. That's ridiculous. Why did I pay $17 for 10 apples? I should have just walked out of the store with them. This is insane. We can't participate in insanity. We're all just falling into it. Oh well. Anyway, no one's gonna listen to this. It doesn't fucking matter. Doesn't fucking matter. I think this is the end of the episode. I'm lost. That's not about me. Like, I'm fine. Financially, I'm fine. I'm comfortable. I'm able to stomach all of these increases. You know, I'm making more money than I've ever made, but it doesn't feel that way, but whatever. At least I'm still able to do my hobbies. But I can't buy a house. That's for sure. That's never going to happen. Because that's the thing now. You have a choice. And it's like, do you want to do stuff? Like hobbies and go to dinner and enjoy life? Or do you want to be a homeowner? Do you want to rent and do stuff? Or do you want to be a homeowner? Those are your two choices. Or, I don't know, become a fucking business person, scumbag, and make ridiculous money. That's the other option, I guess. Maybe I'm just an idiot. Maybe I'm just dumb. That's probably the thing. That's generally what I like to assume when I'm confused. I'm the dumb one. But I just feel like this whole thing's broken, and this isn't a good path that we're on. This has been the Not a Person podcast, Doomer edition. Maybe I'll have some solutions next episode. I don't know. It's just me talking to myself anyway. So, who gives a shit?